Good afternoon, Jugger fans, and welcome to the Mile High Open 2021 Championship. I'm your host, Sebastian Seabass Wolf, and I cannot wait to get into the action today. We are finally here at the championship round. Now, keep in mind, in day 2, normally we would have two 100 stone halves. That will be different today. We will have 150 stone halves for our championship match. So keep in mind, we're going to have significantly more Jugger today and a much longer match. Now, taking a look at our bracket, there's not much left to see but the Phoenix Lights taking on the Desert Wolves. These two teams have fought and scrapped continuously to get to where they are now at our championship. The Phoenix Lights are taking the winner's bracket position at the front of the pack. The Desert Wolves have fought their way through the elimination bracket to get here, but either one of these teams can be crowned our champion today. Now, for those of you who may be a little less familiar with Jugger, we are going to take a couple of minutes to get through some of the quick rules and regulations. That way, if you've never seen the game before, you'll be able to follow along with all the Jugger action today. Jugger is a competitive sport played between two teams. 4 enforcers armed with Pomfin and able to defend themselves, and 1 quick who has nothing and is the only player able to grab the ball in the center, known as the skull. After a countdown, the players enter the field and face off against each other in the center. The enforcers spar with their Pomfin, while the quick fights for control of the skull. If a player is struck by a Pomfin, they drop for a set amount of time, temporarily taken out of the action. Using a variety of Pomfin, from the spear-like slash or short and shield to the intimidating chain, an 8-foot ball on a rope, enforcers must work as a team to deal with their opponents while creating an opening for their quick to grab the skull. Once the quick sees an opening, they rush for the skull and then for the goal, placing the skull inside it and scoring a point for their team. Well, there you have it, and I, for one, could not be more excited for our final match card of the entire tournament, the Desert Wolves and the Phoenix Lights. Both of these teams hail out of Arizona, and both of them have had fantastic showings at national events all across the United States and for many years. These two teams are heated rivals, and they're really going to leave it all out on the field today as we see which one of them will come home the Mile High Open champion. You can hear those beats in the background there. Each of those indicate one of the stones where our players will be playing from. We will be keeping time using those stones, as well as every single player will keep that time for when they are hit by an opposing player's Pomfin. They are down for 5 of those stones if they're hit by a regular Pomfin, and 8 for a chain. And with that being said, we are out on the field. Phoenix Lights on the left-hand side, Desert Wolves on the right. We very quickly have a pause called here on the action. Looks like we might have a false start on the field. We do indeed. False start. No surprise. These two teams are eager and chomping at the bit to try and get going. False start aside on our first play, and here we go. We're going to see them really running out here. No calls this time, and we get straight into the action. Phoenix Lights chaining the outside approach. Desert Wolves shield almost gets the block, but not quite enough. Zano on the outside of Desert Wolves is going to take down several. We got a free run in, and there it is. Desert Wolves will put up the first point, and just like that, it is 1-0 Desert Wolves' favor. Now, Phoenix Lights are the number 1 seed, but these two teams have fought back and forth, winning and losing to each other multiple times, even throughout the course of this tournament. So, it is not going to be a given either way. This should be an incredibly even match on both sides. We can see Josh Hawk there, the sword and board on the Phoenix Lights, trying to push through on the side of the Desert Wolves line. Desert Wolves are going to take most of the Phoenix Lights enforcers down, but their quick is still up and in possession of the skull. They're going to start to move along the outside. No camera switch here yet. We're going to see there it is as they're running in, and they do get the goal in just before that chain makes contact, and they will tie it up 1-1. That was an extremely close shot there on that chain, but not quite, just a fraction of a second behind. 1-1 now is the score in our first half. And there we go, we can see the countdown as both these teams sprint back onto the field. taking a bit of a slow and measured approach on the line. Neither team rushing in. Beautiful sword block there by the Desert Wolves will take the chain down, but their quick is already moving across the field on the side of Phoenix Lights. Beautiful reinforcement there by the Wolves, and Skull possession is going to go back over to them. Will they be able to get pins and hold the enforcers in place enough? Oh, it doesn't look like it. They're both going to be counted down there, so Desert Wolves is going to have to restart that count. Phoenix Lights now in possession of the Skull. They have an enforcer there to try and block them. Beautiful quick wrestling by the Wolves. Going to totally stall that goal for the Lights, and now we're going to see the free run down the field. No enforcers left, and put it away. Desert Wolves up 2-1. Wow, that was a phenomenal showcase of how a quick can determine whether or not the opposing team can score. Stalling just enough time for their chain to get back onto the quick, take down the Skull. Desert Wolves get possession, they get the point, and they are now in the lead 2-1. Here we go, both sides back out on the line. We can see another shield rush once again by the Desert Wolves on the outside. They've got the full flank. They've got everyone in position. They've taken down all the enforcers, and they're going to start running in. I stand corrected. Beautiful work by the Phoenix Lights chain player to get back up, and now the collapse is happening from the other side of the field. The Phoenix Lights are going to absolutely steamroll the Wolves, and they're going to put it away, tying the game up 2-2. Man, this is already a phenomenal match so far. Both sides playing spectacularly. Desert Wolves try to capitalize, and they move forward with their enforcers, but because they don't stay back and get the pins, Lights buy just enough time, and they re-enter the fray. They get the Skull, they get the point, and we are going to see this action continue. Again, a beautiful shield rush on the outside. Desert Wolves doing an amazing job of neutralizing that chain. This time it'll be enough, and a very quick point. 3-2 now the score. I think, honestly, the Lights are doing a really wonderful job, both in the middle and on their left-hand side, but the Desert Wolves being able to completely neutralize the Phoenix Lights chain, some of the greatest chain players, not only in the country, but in the world, it is phenomenal to see them doing that and really taking the Lights to task. This time around, see, the break will not work. Phoenix Lights going to be in an easy commanding position. We see a chain versus chain, bad reload by the Wolves. He is not going to have it ready in time, and just like that, they're going to tie it back up 3-3. Already the pressure is high on this one, and they are not disappointing. A tie game, 3-3, both sides putting away phenomenal points. Here comes the countdown once again. Both sides rushing in once again. Lights on your left-hand side. We're going to see the chain neutralization happen once again on the left-hand side, and that is all the Desert Wolves need to run in and put away that goal. I'm honestly surprised that the Phoenix Lights haven't flexed their chain over somewhere else by this point in time. Desert Wolves are doing an amazing job. Every time they can take that chain down, it is a fast point for the Wolves. Ready call goes out. 3-4 is the score. Both teams maneuvering in. Looks like Josh Hawk on the side of the Lights going to go for a center play. He does get a couple, and they've managed to keep their chain alive. But that's not going to matter if the Wolves get the flank. They're going to put a stop to that Skull push immediately. Phoenix Lights quick is now down as Wolves zone out and try and get pins. Excellent play, though, by the Phoenix Lights quick. They're going to get Skull possession. They're going to force an enforcer off of a pin. They're going to have to move over and ice the Skull. Desert Wolves are going to move over. They now have possession of the Skull. Can they guide it in? A single enforcer is going to try and stop it. Not quite going to be enough. And just like that, they are going to slow jog it in, and there's the point. 5-4 is now the lead. Desert Wolves widening just a little bit, but the Phoenix Lights are by no means out of this. We've got a lot of Jugger left to play. Desert Wolves buying themselves a little bit of time. Hopefully they can draw out the clock a bit more. Lights probably going to fast play it here, try and get that point as quick as they can. They have maneuvered their chain to a different side of the field this time. Lights making an excellent adjustment. This time around, looks like Lights are going to have a dominant position. Their quick is currently down, though. So Desert Wolves are going to do their best to try and get involved. Desert Wolves quick going to throw themselves onto the chain, force a wrap, and the chain is going to be down. Looks like they're a little upset about that. They're going to call for the ref, but there is no penalty there. Desert Wolves quick, more than welcome to do that, but the play is still live and happening. Wolves going to clear out that Skull, start to get pins on the quick. We're slowly starting to run out of stones here, so Wolves are going to try and buy as much time as they can. Attempted leap by the Wolves quick, not quite going to be enough as the Lights try and push down as much as they can, but they're not going to be able to score. There is the whistle, and that is the first half of play. 150 stones down, the Wolves lead it 5-3 as we go into halftime. And here we go. We're now in the second half of this game. Lights and Wolves getting ready on the field. You're going to see them swap positions, so keep that in mind. There you go. You can now see the Lights on the right-hand side, the Wolves on the left-hand side. We see a decent line collapse on both sides. Enforcers still up on both sides of the field. Doesn't matter. It looks like we're going to see Wolves run it in. They're going to plant that score. 6-3, now the lead. Looks like we do have a flag on the play. We will see if that was play affecting enough to force a redo point. You see the refs discussing. Looks like it was not. The score will stand. 6-3. Lead widening for the Wolves at this point. The Lights are going to have to do some serious work if they want to get involved here again. Lights are going to get possession first off. Grab the flick. Their quick is going to move along the right-hand side, guarded by their chain. Chain still up and maneuvering on the far side of the field. Lights Enforcers continuing to work, but it doesn't matter as the Desert Wolves chain is absolutely on fire, eliminating so many of the opposition as the Wolves quick is going to sprint it in. Do they have enough time to score it in? And we see as they dive into the goal, they are going to put that one away. 7-3, the Wolves continuing to widen their lead. Wow, that was phenomenal work by the Wolves. Beautiful zone, totally stops the collapse on the side of the Lights. And here we go. Wolves in a commanding position. Lazy shot out there by the Wolves. A continuous block over and over again on that palm fin. Wow, that was insane work by the Wolves chain to continuously block using that chain rope themselves. Looks like the Wolves quick is going to try and run into position. They are going to have the skull, but it's not quite going to matter. I stand corrected. Josh Hawk is going to miss it. And just like that, the Wolves are going to rush in. They're going to try and score, but no goal is called. No goal is called. We still have a live skull on the field. Insane, absolutely insane fight there along the side. And there we go. Wolves quick is going to get it back up again, and they will put it away. 8-3 is now the score. We are, however, going to see several flags on that play. You saw them fly out there before the play was even over, so we will see, once again, a little bit of a ref discussion on whether or not that point is going to stand. 8-3, the current score, and we can see there on the scoreboard, it does stand once again. So 8-3, now a commanding lead. Oh, I stand corrected. We see a bit of a recount there by the Wolves, and there it is. 7-3, now the score. Beautiful positioning by the Lights. They're going to get a nice, solid start, but so will the Wolves. We're going to see a bit of a fight over the skull possession. Wolves finally have it, but several of the Lights Enforcers are back up on the other side of the field. They are moving around. We're going to see a bit of a scuffle near, but no point scored yet. Desert Wolves were in possession, and we do see them still up. They're going to stop the Lights quick from getting to ice that skull. The Wolves are going to grab it and put it away. There it is. They will score that point. That one will stand, so 8-3 is now the overall score. Now, I do believe that the scoreboard is going to glitch a little bit. That point does stand. 8-3 is the actual score going forward, so keep that in mind. That point did stand, and here we go. We watch both sides coming in. Chain on the outside. They're going to try for the dive play once again, but it's not quite enough. Lights chain is going to stay standing. No contact on that one, and the Lights are going to easy guide it in. 4-7, now the score. That was a great fast play by the Lights, and they are going to have to do that multiple times if they want to try and get this back into spitting distance. 3 points down still. The Desert Wolves, despite being the lower seeded team, have put together a phenomenal masterclass on how to pick apart your opponents, constantly exploiting the weaknesses of the Lights so far. But when it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And just like that, the Lights chain is still up in a commanding position, and they are going to try and guide that in. Quick going to give a nice attempt there, never giving up on the play, but it does not matter. Lights go up 5-7. 2 very quick points has made this a very different game. If the Lights can continue this pace for a little while longer, they just might be able to make this an extremely close game. 5-8 is the score. That scoreboard on the Desert Wolves is incorrect. Keep that in mind. So they do still have several points to make up here. Another beautiful shot there by the Phoenix Lights chain right by the camera. Looks like it might be enough to stall some time, but the Desert Wolves quick is going to get some excellent wrestling in, take them down, and I do believe we are back to neutral. Desert Wolves in possession. They're going to try and make away, but Josh Hawk gets back up. He's going to take down the quick, and once again, it is anyone's ball. Hawk is going to sit there waiting on that count. Desert Wolves quick is going to grab it, ice the skull across field, and get knocked right back down again. This time we're going to see Josh Hawk getting that pin right there. You can see him barely crouching on the other side of the ref, holding that pin in. They're going to try and dodge roll there. Excellent try by the Quick, but going to get down by Chain, and that is enough time for the Phoenix Lights Quick to grab that skull, put it away. 6-8 is now the score. Really excellent job on both teams there. You see the Lights doing a good job trying to maintain close contact so they can essentially pin two people at once, but the Wolves did a great job separating themselves and trying to stop that from happening. However, the Lights were faster that time around, and they put it away. Beautiful chain block. Oh, not quite enough there. Looks like the Wolves' chain is still going to be up. Excellent swing. They're going to try and get some pins in, but Phoenix Lights Enforcers are still on the field. They are still fighting for it, and it looks like the Lights Quick is going to go down. The Wolves Quick is going to go down. Everyone is going down. We see a lot of pins. Excellent engagement attempt there. Not quite going to be enough. Hawk is going to take him down. He's got two pinned in the center side of the field. We can see their Quick coming up. Not going to be good enough, though. Phoenix Lights Chain going to take him down very quickly. See that zone right there on the other side of the field, however. Phoenix Lights in a decently commanding position, but they're going to have to move back up and guide their Quick across the field. Another Quick wrestle is going to come down. Both sides tackled to the ground along the sidelines. Nobody steps out of bounds quite yet. Whacked there, he will go down, and Phoenix Lights are going to have the free run. They will score the point. 7-8 is now the score. Lights within one. An insane run by the Lights so far. They've put away so many points to make this game as even as they can. Scoreboard finally adjusted correctly. You'll see now 7-8 is the right score. 1 point difference for the Phoenix Lights, but we still have a lot of Jugger left to play. You see chain shots coming out there, not quite going to do very well. Desert Wolves finally in a commanding position, and they're going to run it down. No one left to stop them, and the Desert Wolves will widen that lead back up 9-7. They absolutely needed that point if they were going to try and win this game. This is exceptionally close, especially for one that the Wolves had such a commanding lead for so long. We still have a couple minutes of Jugger left to play. Plenty of time for many points to get scored. See the countdown as both sides run out again. Exceptionally exhausting endurance match for both of these teams. Excellent play on both sides for the Chains and the Sword and Board players. We're going to see pins coming out on both sides. Very even once again as they continue to move along the field. Wolves in possession along the backfield there, but the Lights have Enforcers coming up from the flanks. They're going to try and take them down, but they're still up, trying to chain jump way through the air, but they are going to get hit. They're going to get knocked down. There is no goal right there. That looked like a brutal jump and a brutal chain shot. Good attempt by the Desert Wolves Quick. Not quite going to be enough. Leaping over Pomfin there is Josh Hawk. He's not going to be able to put it away fast enough, though, and I do believe the Wolves Quick will get up, and there it is. 10-7. The Wolves continue to widen their lead. 3 points now in advantage. Lights are going to have to score quickly if they want to try and turn this game back around. Desert Wolves have got to hold on and buy as many stones as they can. Lights very quick to get skull possession, and they're going to back off. Opening on their right-hand side, and they're going to continue to collapse, pushing through. Their Quick is going to maneuver, but there are still Enforcers on the Desert Wolves side up. They're going to try and take them down, and they will do so. No point scored. Excellent adaptation on the field by the Desert Wolves. They're going to try and fight over their Quick. Pins coming in, going to attempt to try and duel Josh Hawk. Not quite going to be enough, and just like that, their Quick is back in possession. A little bit of an ice across the field is going to force them across the field, though, and the Desert Wolves once again in a commanding position. They are going to pin the Quick. Excellent work by the Desert Wolves Quick to clear that skull and buy time for the Desert Wolves. Desert Wolves now in position on the field, and they're going to start moving up. Diving chain shot, not going to be enough. They're going to get caught out by it. Desert Wolves chain taken down, but so is the Lights. We're going to see a free run, Quick versus Quick. Who's going to be faster? And the Wolves will be 11-7. They're going to widen that lead. Phenomenal stop by the Desert Wolves right there. Beautiful work dropping in from the backfield. Beautiful field positioning. Quick doing a wonderful job of icing that skull. All around wonderful team play to make sure the Wolves still had control, and they fight back another point. Lead significantly widened. Lights are going to have to do some serious work here, and they are going to start collapsing across the field. Chain duel there on the outside. A couple of Wolves Enforcers are still up, but they are going to start dropping very quick. Another one is going to go down, and there it is. The Lights put away a point, 8-11. I will say one thing. When the Lights score, they score very quickly. They are doing a good job of collapsing those lines fast, and that's what helped them keep in this game. But they're going to have to keep up that pace in this gruelingly long game. And here we go. Once again, Lights in possession. They're going to get the flick, but it's not quite going to be enough. An inside chain shot is going to take down the Lights quick. Beautiful work by the Wolves. They overplayed their hand a little bit too far, and this time Josh Hawk's not fast enough, and the Desert Wolves will put away another point. 12-8. That looked like a really good start from the Lights, but unfortunately their quick takes one step too far forward, catches that inside chain shot, and being down for 8 stones can really delay a point. Whoo my, 13-8, the clock is winding down, and the Desert Wolves look to be in a commanding position, but you cannot count the Lights out until that last stone drops. They're going to sneak it in! This time around, the field awareness is not there for the Wolves, and exactly what I was saying, 9-13 is now the score. We only have a handful of stones remaining in play. Lights are going to have to score quickly and consistently. Otherwise, it looks like the Wolves are in a dominant position to become your new Mile High Open champions. With a few plays remaining, we're going to see both sides running to the field. The clock is continuing to tick down. Excellent work by the Desert Wolves. So many of them taken down, but a flank play by the Lights will take down the Quick and pin them in place. But that doesn't matter. The Lights need to score quickly if they are going to do anything. Pins coming out, and the game continues as the clock constantly moves towards expiring. Lights are going to take a couple more enforcers down, but it doesn't matter. The Wolves still have pins. Their quick is up. They're going to try and go for the skull. They are just buying time at this point. They have a huge lead, and they are sinking mass amounts of stones into this play. One of the longest plays of the entire finals match so far. Beautiful flank again by the Lights, but will it be enough? The Wolves quick taken down. So is the Lights quick, and they are continuing to run out the clock. There is not much time. We're in the final 10 stones. We can hear them counting down, and just like that, with the quick going down, the Desert Wolves will be your new Mile High Open champions. Congratulations to the Wolves. We'll see you all next year, and thank you so much for joining us with the Colorado Jugger League.